Hello friends, welcome and or welcome back to my channel. I'm Em and welcome to week 3 of Clear Your Shit. So Clear Your Shit is a storied readathon where the goal is to read through your physical TBR. I will link all the relevant things down in the description below if you want to check it out. And this week is going to be a little bit different because there are 3 prompts this week because we have a free space, and I have already started my free space book because I got the audiobook finally from the library partway through last week, and I've just been dying to start it, and I had to wait. It was so hard to wait, but I started it this morning, and it is Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I read Spark of the Everflame in May, is that right? And I gave it 4 stars. I had such a fun time with it, and even though I'm absolutely terrified at how chunky the rest of the books are in this series, I really want to dive in. This is like almost 600 pages, which makes me a little nervous, but I've already read 102 pages this morning. It's so easy to read. The audiobook's okay. It's not my favorite, but like it does in a pinch if I want to know what's happening, but I don't have time to read physically. But I just flew through this 100 pages. It starts off right where book 1 ended. So I'll try so hard not to do spoilers. So I don't know how in depth I'll be able to get with this one, but just know it starts off right away. And I'm absolutely obsessed with the romantic couple in this book. Okay, I'll rewind. If you don't know, book 1, Spark of the Everflame. This is a romantasy series, and it's about a woman named DM who is a healer. And in this world, there are these people called the Descended, and they are children of long lost gods. And so they're all tall, they have magic, they're immortal, I think, for the most part. Well, I mean, they can die, but they live for a really, really, really long time. Oh, and they they rule this land. They've taken over this human realm, basically, and they rule it. And the humans are treated not great, and it's forbidden for the Descended and mortals to have children together, and any children that come from mixed parentage are supposed to be killed, like right away. So we have DM who lives with her mother and her stepfather, and their DM doesn't fit with the mortals. All mortals are supposed to have brown eyes. The Descended all have blue eyes, and then DM has gray eyes, and her hair is like white, and she's always insisted that it's just like some illness that she's had or from like childhood. And then her mother goes missing at the very beginning of the book, and it pushes DM on this, not quest, but like she needs to find out where her mom is and what happened to her mom. And along the way, she just finds out some stuff. And it was so fun. There wasn't very much romance in that, but the interactions between DM and guy that is going to be the love interest were so good. So good. Tension, A+. Banter, A+. Like, ugh, I just loved it. And I had so much fun. It was predictable. I did know how it was going to end, but you know what? I had so much fun that I didn't care that I was able to predict it. And this is just picked up right where it left off. And again, the interactions between DM and Luther are my favorite. I just love it. I'm having so much fun, which is really all I want for my books right now. I just want to have a good time. And that's what this is providing. So this is going to fulfill that free space prompt. And I've also had the arc for this for a while, like I think since the beginning of the year. And then prompt number 2 is to read a short book, and I think I know what I'm going to pick for that one. It's also on my June TBR. I haven't been doing a good job about reading my June TBR along with the Clear Your Shit prompt, so I need to like do better. And then I forget what the 3rd prompt is, but that's okay. We'll get there when we get there. So I think I'm going to spend, today's Sunday, by the way, I think I'm going to spend today through Tuesday or Wednesday really focused on trying to make as much progress in Glow of the Everflame as possible. And then on Wednesday or Thursday, I'll take a break and I'll read the short book. And then how quickly I'm able to read this will determine what we do for the 3rd book, for the 3rd prompt, I think is what I have to do this week. I am a little nervous about picking such a chunky book for this week's TBR, but I'm gonna lock in this week. I'm not gonna get distracted by my phone. I'm not gonna spend so much time scrolling on Instagram. If I have 5 seconds or to waste in the time that I would pick up to scroll my phone and get sucked in for 15 minutes, I'm gonna pick up a book instead. Right? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, and that's the plan. So yeah, welcome to the vlog. Today is Sunday. Like I said, it's also Father's Day, so I'm basically just letting my husband sleep in, and luckily the children are also sleeping in, which works out great for everybody. So since I've already hit about 100 pages of this, I am gonna watch some booktube because I am like woefully behind on watching videos from some of my favorite creators. I think we're just gonna have like a nice chill day today. My parents are gonna come over and we're just gonna hang out, and it's gonna be lovely. Hopefully I'll be able to squeeze in. My goal was to get to 102 pages today, which I've done. So maybe I could get in like another 50 pages. That would be awesome. We'll see. But wouldn't that be great? It would be so great. Good morning, it's Monday. I have to get ready for work, but I also need to update you on Glow of the Everflame because I reached 250 pages this morning, which was my goal for today. So I'm gonna make my push goal 300 and see if I can get that by the end of today without giving too much away for book one. I will say I'm having a lot more fun with this one than I had with book one. Like, I had a good time with book one. I wasn't obsessed with it the way that I'm borderline obsessed with this one. I will say the thing that irritated me from book one is still present in book two, and I talked about it in my vlog for book one, so I don't feel like it's a total spoiler or even a spoiler at all. But there is a second tier love interest, and not a love triangle, but just somebody that DM was in a relationship with prior to the start of the book, and she foolishly thinks she's in love with, and he's just second tier. He's such a red flag, and you know the whole time. He's introduced on page 1 of the first book. He's in that first scene with her, and you just know, oh baby, you're not here to stay. You're gonna get booted. And he's still in book 2, which is so annoying because I thought, oh, we're done with him now. But he's still there, but the seeds of doubt have been sown, and the dynamic between DM and Luther continues to be so good. It's so fun. I'm like giggling, kicking my feet, just absolutely soaking up their dynamic and their banter and the little moments where they reveal their true selves to each other, or like, you know, who they are when they're not posturing or putting up defenses or pretending to be someone they're not in order to survive. This book is very much like a court politics book, which I really enjoy. I love books that have a lot of court politics in them, like the City of Brass trilogy. I really love book 2. Well, I mean, I love all of them, but I feel like book 2 and book 1, okay, never mind. All of the books, there's a lot of court politics, and I really like those dynamics. I think you could read Glow of the Everflame and feel like nothing's really happening, but because of the court politics, because of all the vying for control, for alliances, for the upper hand in these situations, like, I find all of that absolutely riveting. So I'm really enjoying pretty much every aspect of the book except when the second tier love interest shows up, and I am just waiting for DM to realize that he ain't it, and to stop denying that. I mean, she's not denying she has feelings for Luther, but I don't know. She's trying to fool herself, and I'm just ready for it to be over. Though I hope their dynamic doesn't shift dramatically. I've discovered that's something I really don't like in romantasy, when I know like the tension can't stay between the love interests forever. Like, once they are a couple, obviously the dynamic has to shift because a relationship is different than a flirtation or a crush. but I hope their dynamic doesn't shift too much once they finally figure things out. It's such a fun time, and it's so easy to read. Both the audiobook and the physical book, I'm just flying through it in a way I did not expect myself to. So we're gonna make the stretch goal 300 pages and then see how that goes, and then I'll set my goal for tomorrow based off of how today goes. I do have to work today, which is such a bummer. But it's supposed to be nice but not hot, so I think we're gonna try and get some outside time once I'm done with work today, and hopefully I'll be able to read outside when I do that. Also, last night, so we've been watching an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer every Sunday called Slayer Sunday, which is not original. I forget who I picked that up from, but somebody online did it before me, and we'll watch like an episode a week, but I think we're gonna watch another episode tonight because we're into season 2 and the next episode is Spike's first episode, and I'm so excited. I love Spike so much. Every single problematic part of him I just love, and I can't wait to see the kids' reaction to him and to Drusilla. It's gonna be great. Hi friends, it is Wednesday. I didn't really update you at all yesterday. I'm so sorry. I went to work, same old story, and then we went to go see the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie. So quick movie review that you didn't ask for. I think just as a movie, it's really well done. Actually, my kids and I all had the same opinion. So we thought as a movie on its own, it's really well done. The CGI animation for the dragons is really good. The acting's good. I liked how they expanded Burke and made it more diverse, and made it more diverse in a very simple way. It's not hard to add diversity into fantasy worlds. It doesn't have to be complicated, and they did it in a really easy way. I think their communication of it too fit well, so I appreciated that. I really liked the actress that played Astrid. I thought she was really good. And Gerard Butler, of course. Having him still be stoic is wonderful because he's so good at it, and I can't even imagine another person playing that role. Like, that's the one role where I'm like, well, no, it has to be Gerard Butler, that voice. But we still think the animated movie is better. I didn't get emotional with the live action the way I always get emotional with the animated version. And I definitely think DreamWorks is coming for Disney's lunch money this year, because I think DreamWorks' first live action remake is so far above any live action remake that Disney has done so far. So be interested to see how this pans out, and if we get a live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon 2, because I think this first one, even in just like their opening weekend, has made so much money. So yeah, there's your little movie review you didn't ask for. As far as reading goes, I am 350. No, I read extra yesterday. So I'm like 380 pages into Glow of the Everflame, and I'm still really liking it. It's still really easy to read. I will say yesterday there were a few moments when I was reading where it felt long, and I'm worried that this is going to be the downfall for the book, is that it's going to be too long, because I did find myself a couple times yesterday getting bored, but then something would happen that was exciting and interesting, and then I'd be back in it again. I just need DM to let go of Henry. Like, I need that romance to die. I need her to just accept that that's over. There's been a hint about something with Luther, like a potential, if Pencil is going to do a third act breakup in a series. I don't know what that would be called. If you have a series and you're following the same couple over multiple books, do you still have a third act breakup? Or I don't know, but there was like seeds of doubt were sown, which I don't like that. I hope that doesn't come to fruition, because that would be annoying, because there's so much other things going on, political things, fantasy world things, like the way the mortals are treated by the descended. Like, I feel like there's so much firm fantasy plot things going on. It's like, we really don't need a third act breakup. But I think we're gonna get one whether I want it or not. I did get a notification on Libby this morning that the audiobook for the third book is available to borrow. So I'm gonna be delaying that because I am not ready to check that out, because I definitely will not be getting to that this month. I'm gonna need a break, I think, depending on how Glow of the Everflame ends. We'll see. But today is, I actually got up and I went and I worked out this morning, y'all. That like never happens. I said I was going to do it last night. I always say I'm going to do it in the evening, and then the next day starts, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing that. But there's not enough hours in the day. With the children all home, there's not enough hours in the day to do all the things I want to do. So I have to make some adjustments. So we're going to try this. So I walked on the treadmill at an incline, nothing fancy. Usually I run on Wednesdays, but I don't think I can run anymore. I loved it. It was great. I'm so glad I did that for like a year just to show that I could. But it is so high impact, and my body does not love how high impact running is. And I kind of knew that going in. I recognized that this was not going to be a long-term workout thing that I could do, because my body has never liked high impact things, especially like a sustained high impact. So I knew it was going to have a short shelf life, and I finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But it was fun while it lasted. So I just walked on the treadmill just to see, because I didn't know how much energy I was going to have at, was it 6 o'clock in the morning when I got there? And I think it was like 5:50 when I got there. I didn't know how much energy I was going to have. So I was like, I'm just going to walk on the treadmill, see how it goes. I took some pre-workout this morning, but unfortunately the brand I got gives me that like prickly skin feeling. So that's unfortunate. I mean, I'm going to finish it because I have it, but I'm going to try a different brand next time. So I had a pre-workout this morning instead of a cup of coffee, which is weird because it's super outside of my routine. This whole morning is outside of my routine. So we'll see if it stays. I do have tomorrow off though. Wait, okay, I'm getting, sorry. Okay, I'll focus. I said in the intro that I was going to focus on Glow of the Everflame until Wednesday or Thursday and then pause and read my short book. Considering today is my super busy work day. I'm at work for the longest amount of hours today out of the rest of the week. And I have tomorrow off because tomorrow is Juneteenth. So I'm going to keep focusing on Glow of the Everflame today. And then tomorrow I'll focus on the short book because I should be able to finish that short book all in one day tomorrow. So that's the plan. Right now I got to run into the grocery store and get some things for breakfast and lunches because everyone eats so much food when they're home all day. And then I got to go get ready for work. And I'm a little bit nervous about getting my 100 pages read today, considering I usually read it now. Like I usually wake up at 5 and I read until like 6:30 or 7. And this morning I woke up at 5:30 and got ready and left for the gym almost right away. And it's now 6:53. So we'll see how the reading goes, if this is going to be my new schedule. Oh, I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. There's just not enough hours in the day. Okay, this clip is getting too long. Bye. Good morning. It's Thursday and I started and finished Don't Sleep with the Dead this morning. This is the book I picked for the read a short book prompt. And it's supposed to be a standalone companion novel to The Chosen and the Beautiful, which is her Great Gatsby retelling. And I think you either have to have read The Great Gatsby and or probably should read The Chosen and the Beautiful, because it does reference things that happen in both of those books, and I could see readers getting a little lost if you don't have some base knowledge diving into this one. But this is set 20 years after the events of The Great Gatsby and The Chosen and the Beautiful, and we're following Nick, and he's living in New York, and World War II is just starting to break out in Europe, and Nick is out one night and thinks he sees Gatsby, and that is the catalyst that starts him going, that starts the book going, and Nick grappling with things from his past and who he is. And as always, I think Nevo's writing is absolutely stunning. I didn't love this. I liked it more than The Chosen and the Beautiful. My main complaint about The Chosen and the Beautiful is that the things that I found most interesting about that book were not the things that Nevo found the most interesting in that book, so she didn't focus on them hardly at all. I like the magical element and the immigrant part of that story because Chosen and the Beautiful is from Jordan Baker's point of view, and it was more on the rich people aspect, and I find that so utterly uninteresting. But with this one, we definitely leaned into the magic a little bit more. And I did like the magical element. I thought it was cool, but I just don't think this is a world that I have very much interest in, just this Great Gatsby style world, because these people are just so shallow and no amount of beautiful writing can make it better. I do find Nick the most interesting probably out of that original group of characters, but I'm giving it a 3.25, and it's fully for the writing, because I have how beautiful her writing is and how well she structures a sentence. I'm not really going to give you any more plot because it's only like 100 pages. And I was able to read it in like an hour and a half. So I feel like if I give you more, it'll spoil the whole novella. So I think if you really love Great Gatsby, like if that's one of your favorite classics or one that you have a lot of like attachment to, I think this little duology, would we call it, would be interesting, and you probably enjoy it. If you care about rich people drama and rich people problems, then I probably would also recommend it. But just without having those two things as an anchor for me, they're just not my favorite. And I'm very much a character-based reader, so when I don't have anybody to root for or that I'm invested in, it's really tough for me to hang out and have a good time. But I am glad I read it. I would like to read all of Nevo's backlist. I think I'm pretty close. I think I might only have one more book before I'm like totally caught up and I've read everything she's written, which is exciting. So we'll see. Maybe I'll read The Siren Queens this year because I think that's the one I have left. Oh, I still have to read The City in Glass. I always forget about that one. And I have that. So 2 more Nevo books and then I'll be caught up on everything she's written, which is very cool. Now that that's done, I'm going to go back to Spark of the Everflame. I hit a wall a little bit yesterday with it. I'm kind of annoyed at DM. She has been feeling real sorry for herself, which she has reason. I get it. So a couple of really horrible things happened to her, but she's wallowing in the self, not to sound heartless, but she is wallowing in the self-pity in a way that is really frustrating to read. And she's letting herself be manipulated by garbage people. And I need her to snap out of it and become the big boss bitch that I know she is. And then I'll be having a fun time again. But I am definitely I'm feeling the 600 pages right now, and I don't want to be feeling the 600 pages. I still want it to be easy breezy, and it is. I mean, I'm flying through it so much faster than I thought I would, but it was feeling like a 600 page book yesterday, and I don't want that. I have like 150, maybe 200 pages left. I'm expecting a very explosive, high action, suspenseful ending to get the book set up for, to get this series set up for book 3, to get me wanting to pick up book 3 immediately, even though I just delayed the audiobook for like a month to give myself a break rather than just diving into the next one because I have other things that I need to read. But I don't know that this book needed to be 600 pages. I don't think everything we've had in here was wholly necessary, which is a bummer, but that's always going to be my hot take, is that books don't need to be over 500 pages, or because very rarely is every bit of that over 500 page necessary or good, or you know, like everything could be trimmed down. Anyways, I'm gonna go read. I have the whole day off with, which I think I mentioned, which is lovely. We are gonna go for a walk this afternoon, but I have to catch up on chores today, and I'll probably listen to I'll probably listen to Glow of the Everflame while I do some chores. I also switched my phone to grayscale in an effort to stay off of it today, and I can't even tell you how much I hate when it looks like that. And I can't leave it like this because of my social media job. like I have to be able to see color in order to like edit photos and video and make sure it looks good. So like this, I'll switch it back when I need to work, but I hate this so much right now. Okay, now I'm just rambling. I'm gonna go read. I have a wild idea for a fantasy book, or just a book in general. What if the characters all just talk to each other? If they just talk to each other, if they just told each other things rather than waiting for the right moment or waiting until the other person, like just tell each other stuff. Just tell each other stuff. Wild concept. It's a 4. Sadly, it was so close to being a 4.5, but maybe it's not too long. Maybe, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I feel like maybe we could have trimmed some scenes out and made it not quite so long. If we trimmed out all the miscommunication, it would definitely be shorter. The 2 really big events in this book, like what I guess you would call, I don't know if they're technically twists, but what is going on? I just watched you. You should be behaving right now. Okay. The 2 big events, like right at the end of the book, would not have happened if everyone had just talked to each other. Like all it required was one person being like, hey, heads up, I'm about to blah, 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 blah. I don't want to spoil anything. Or another person to be like, hey, I have information you don't have yet. Let me tell it to you before you run off and do something stupid. DM is really straddling that line for me of I love an impulsive main character who does not think their actions through, even though it can be really frustrating. I think it most of the time makes for an exciting book because like they're not stopping to think things through to the logical conclusion. They're just acting and dealing with the consequences. And I think because it's so opposite of how I am, I find it very entertaining, and most of the time I really like it. DM is really straddling that line for me of not thinking things through, but also not learning from the last time she didn't think things through. So I don't mind an impulsive character, but I do mind a character who is not learning anything from what has been happening. And I feel like she's not learning anything, and that's making her more frustrating to be with. And I'm really hoping, like, of course I'm gonna read book 3, but I'm really hoping she grows a little bit. We have a little bit of character growth. Not a ton, because even though this is a super chunky book, like I think the beginning of Spark of the Everflame to the end of Glow of the Everflame, maybe it's 6 months. At the most, I think it's 4 months. Like this book all takes place in a month, and I forget how much time goes by in Spark of the Everflame, but these are happening in really short amount of time. So I'm not looking for her to become a whole new character. I don't want that. I like her character. I just want her to learn just a little bit. DM, please, just a little. I want everybody just to learn how to communicate just a little bit and keep fewer secrets from each other, because it's not going well. And it did get to the point in this book where it started to feel cyclical and like it could get boring real quick if that keeps happening. So fingers crossed book 3 will not do that, but I'm very excited to find out what's going to happen next, but I very much do need a break from this world and these characters. So I'm glad I delayed the audiobook for book 3, and I won't get it for a while, because I think by the time it comes back around, I'll be more excited to dive back in. But yeah, solid 4 for Glow of the Everflame. And Spark of the Everflame was a solid 4 as well. So we'll see how it goes with Heat of the Everflame. Maybe that one will be a 5-star or a 4.5, or maybe it'll just be like a solid 4-star series. That's good too. So that means we have one more prompt for this week of Clear Your Shit. It's Thursday, so will I finish a 3rd book in this vlog? Probably not. I'm probably gonna at least start one, and then I'll be able to tell you what I'm reading. So the next prompt is to read a book that has a mystery or a big secret involved. I'm gonna go get some choices, and then we can pick. I'm gonna try and pick something off my TBR though. There are 2 books that called to me that fit the prompt, I think. The first one is on my TBR, the other one is not on my TBR. I have Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett, which sounds like there's a little bit of a mystery or like an unknown thing. Our main character, she's a thief, and she's been sent to steal an artifact that is going to have a lot of power and could create a lot of change. If somebody gets a hold of this particular object, bad things will happen. And I guess she must successfully steal it because then somebody wants her dead and the artifact for themselves. So then the main character has to like embark on this journey to figure out what this artifact does and what her role is going to be in the world, to the best of my understanding from reading the synopsis, because I don't know a whole lot about it other than that this series gets such good praise on Instagram, and I have been like putting off reading Robert Jackson Bennett for a really long time. I am a little worried about jumping into another high fantasy book after reading a really chunky one. And then the other one that is not on my TBR but is significantly shorter is Rose House by Arcady Martine. And this is, I think, an actual murder mystery, but it's sci-fi because there's this sentient house and somebody's been murdered inside of it, and this detective comes to, like, and then this house summons this detective to come and like solve the mystery of the murder. I'm leaning towards this, even though it's not on my TBR, just to give my brain a little bit of a rest after reading such a chunky book. And I've already finished, you guys, I finished 3 books today, and it's not even 12:30 because I finished the 2 for this vlog and then I finished a book for another vlog. And so I think I'm gonna do the shorter one just to give myself a little bit of a slower pace. This vlog is gonna go for 3 more days. It has to end on Saturday in order to go up on Sunday. And if I pick Rose House, that means I can read it a little bit slowly, or slower, versus if I pick up Countryside. I mean, I know I said I could end the vlog without finishing it, but I hate doing that, and I feel like I would just be rushing to read this, and this one's almost 500 pages. Whereas this little novella is it even 100 pages? I don't know, she looks thin. 115. I think I'm gonna read this for this next prompt. I also feel like this really kind of fits the spirit of the prompt a little bit better than Foundryside. I could make it work for Foundryside, but I feel like this is more within the realm. I do have The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, which is actual murder mystery sci-fi. No, murder mystery fantasy, but that is also chunky. So yeah, Rose House is gonna be my final choice. I owe you a book update. I know. I promise I'm going to give you one. Because I'm like almost halfway through. I think I'm going to wait and update you when I'm finished with Rose House though, because this is how it's going. I have the audio, which is good. Like, I like the audiobook. It's a good, like, I like the narrator. I like the choices she's making. I like the production value or production quality. But I just got back in the car from grocery shopping and I had the choice to listen to an audiobook or to listen to a podcast, and I chose the podcast. So it's fine. It's fine. I'll tell you when I finish it. All right, as promised, I finished Rose House, so I owe you your update. I have said this before. It's been a while, but I have said this before. I think a novella is too short to do a satisfying murder mystery story. I'm willing to be proved wrong. Like, if you know a novella that does successfully pull off a murder mystery that feels satisfying, like, let me know. But in my experience, I have yet to read one. And I'm going to say the same for this. 114 pages is just too short. It's just too short to build the mystery, the tension, drop the clues that you need. It's just too short. I love Arcady Martine's writing. I love A Memory Called Empire and A Desolation Called Peace, that duology. Like, I absolutely love those. I think those are both 5 stars. I thought those were great. So I like her writing a lot. And she always has really great themes about climate change and border politics and stuff like that. So I find that really interesting. She's also, in her like day-to-day life, she is a city planner. And so the way she talks about architecture, I usually find really interesting. I think the AI house and like the haunted house aspect of the AI house was really creepy and atmospheric and really well done. Oh, backtracking to her themes. She is an example of one of those authors where I love her themes, but I wish she hit it a little stronger. I wish she was less metaphors and vibes about the themes and more just like an R.F. Kuang. I know like one of the criticisms of her books is that her themes are, she's like hitting you over the head with them. But you know what? I like getting hit over the head with a theme. I don't hate it, especially if it's a theme where I'm like, you are 100% correct. Yes. So I wish she bludgeoned us with her themes a little bit more. I think I would like that better. I also think the ending is very open-ended. And, you know, there's like two types of open-ended endings. There are ones that are really satisfying, even in their open-endedness, and other ones where it's like, okay, but what was the point? Why did I just read this book? And this ending lands a little bit in the latter category, unfortunately. So I'm giving it a 3. Not my favorite Arcady Martine. I actually think this would probably be really exciting as a novel, a full-length novel, because I think the idea is interesting. It's set a little bit in the future, and we have this PI. No, she's not a PI. She's a detective, right? Yeah, she's a detective. Like, I think following her for a whole book would be really interesting. And oh, I was going to say something else. What was it? Oh, there is kind of like a noir vibe in this too. And I also don't usually like noir books. I keep trying them. And I keep trying them written by women because I feel like if I'm gonna like noir, it's gonna have to be by a woman, ideally a woman of color, because then like they'll get rid of or address the inherent racism and sexism in traditional noir style things. But so even though I keep trying it, hopefully written by somebody who's gonna play with it and make it better, I just don't, it doesn't land quite right. I don't vibe. I don't vibe with it. And it's just true for this. I feel like this review is very chaotic because my thoughts are chaotic and they're all over the place and I'm just like grabbing them as they like flit through my brain. It's been a long week and my brain is tired. So I'm giving it 3 stars. I, of course, will continue to read Arcady Martine because I have such a great history with her debut duology, and I just really want her to write another full-length novel because I think she has great ideas. The execution of this just didn't quite land where I wanted it to be for me. But I'm going to end the vlog here now that I finished this because I've read 3 things in this vlog, and I finished all the Clear Your Shit prompts, which feels great. And then it gives me like a day to maybe not read so much as much, edit this video, and have it ready for you on Sunday. So thank you so much for watching and spending your precious time with me. If you want to leave an emoji to let me know you were here, let's do a house emoji. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye!